Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Coffee with Khalipa, a short form podcast where we dive into something I'm thinking about this upcoming week. And of course, we should each be drinking a little bit of coffee. Topic conversation was inspired by Echo Charles and Jocko Willink, this idea of stress. So let's talk about the idea of stress and stress patches in particular. I never heard that term before, and so I wanted to bring this up. I was listening to their podcast, and they started discussing how stress patches come up during the day. And then you could implement acute stress, which relieves the stress patches when you're done. And here's what I mean. So, the kids are stressing you out, business is stressing you out, something's stressing you out, and you're anxious, you're not feeling right, and you're just in a funk. All of a sudden, you go hit a hard workout, or in this particular case, you go hit hard rolls on the mat. And now this kind of like overwhelming stress, it's just kind of taking over your body. It's just kind of present. It's not punching you in the stomach, but it's just kind of there. It gets overrun by the stress that's there because now you got a guy trying to choke you. You have a barbell that's trying to crush you, and you have a workout that's trying to put you in the red, and you have to address that. All of a sudden, when you're addressing this acute stress, this stress that's immediate, you start to forget about this stress patch in terms of what Echo Charge called it. And it really dawned on me, this idea of stress and managing it in particular, and this concept of we all get stressed. But anytime I finish a workout, I always feel great and less stressed. And the way that they articulated it in terms of these patches of stress that are occurring within your body, and then you bring this acute stress, this very in the moment. And it could even be even more aggressive. You're about to get choked out versus you're just grappling. But all of a sudden you forget about anything else in that immediate stress. But then when you're done, not only do you forget about the patches of stress that we were talking about, but the acute stress, the immediate stress, it's gone too. So now you've just basically put yourself at an equilibrium because you were stressed. You then expose yourself to this deliberate stress. That stress is now gone because the session is over, right? You're no longer training. You're no longer getting after it. But as a byproduct, you've also relieved your previous stress. It's like a win-win-win when it comes to stress relief. And so as I was listening to podcasts, I'm like, dude, that is exactly something that people need to think about, is that if you're feeling in a funk, exposing yourself to more immediate direct stress allows you to no longer think about that funk because there's something so massive right there in front of you. And then before you know it, you forget about both of them and you move on with your day. So go find your opportunities to get in that acute stress to relieve any other stress you might have. Make sure you're staying committed to your training, whether it's on the mats or in the gym. And just keep training hard. I hope you guys enjoy these episodes. I'm just talking about what's on my mind every single week. And if you haven't checked out the previous Coffee with Khalipas, make sure you go back and check those out. We have some really good ones. And if you haven't left us a rating or review or subscribe to the podcast, make sure you do that. Definitely helps us out. And make sure you tell a friend about it. Keep getting after it. Keep training hard. See you again next week. Let's go.